but now I'm using her all the time, which is really humbling for me. Vulnerable moment for me, but you know, we've known each other for a long time, so I feel like I can do this with you. Also, this is specifically Second Awakened Shannon. Shannon's all about protecting her team, which I love. She's like a German Shepherd. She's very loyal, to a fault. She's mainly here for her third skill that applies both an attack buff and a defense buff to her and her allies. Her skill 2 is going to apply a slow to everyone, and her skill 1 has a chance to glance the target. So she is all about turn denial, damage denial, and healing, because like we talked about, damage not taken is health not lost, which is basically healing. I don't hear a lot of arguments for the otherwise. You can actually get Shannon in the Summoner's Way questline or via Unknown Scrolls or the Magic Shop. She's everywhere. Literally the only reason why she's occupying the number 9 slot is because it's not super essential that you 6-star her in the beginning. I still think it's worth it because you're gonna use her in the Giant's Abyss and she's gonna help with stability wherever you take her, but she's not the highest priority. There are 8 other priorities. Speaking of 8, it's Belladon, the Light Inugami. If you had asked me to make this video even 2 months ago, Belladon probably wouldn't have been on it. Sorry, Bella. You're still a really good dog. Belladon's somewhat come back in vogue as of late because of the advent of the Abyss Floors. Now in Giants, can be a reliable defense breaker that hits 1 time, and a smart healer and a smart stripper. So that means that Belladon will only heal when someone needs a heal, and it'll only strip a buff when there is a buff to be removed. Unlike a certain cowgirl. I already made that joke on 2 different videos. Belladon's totally worth the 6-star. It's a great healer, reliable defense breaker, has one of the best, most well-rounded kits in the game. It's also worth a Second Awaken for that matter, just maybe not first. You can get Belladon through secret dungeons any day the Hall of Light is open. Number 7, Naomi the Wind Marshal Cat. What? What is that? Is that an asterisk? That's so weird. Why is there an asterisk by her name? It's because she could also be replaced by any damage dealer that you summoned along the way. Meaning if you summon something like a Lagmaron, a Teor, Chow, some big damage unit that you can use up to GB 10, that can be in this slot. Specifically, Naomi the Wind Marshal Cat, though, does something really unique. She auto-crits so long as there's a debuff on the enemy target, once she's Second Awakened, that is. She also offers a brand on skill 2, which is great for setting up more damage down the line. She's part of one of my favorite starter teams for Giants, which is Veramos, Fran, Lauren, 2A Naomi, and Crow. You can also use her in a lot of other areas in the game, which is predominantly how I'm structuring this list. You can bring her anywhere you need big wind damage. Number 6 is Spectra the Fire Griffin, who's gotten tons of attention as of late after 8.0 dropped. Spectra offers a really funny hybrid of AoE crowd control and big damage. Did you hear that capital B? Big damage. Spectra's skill 3 offers some soft crowd control with an attack bar reduction of 30% on a coin flip. He's also going to try to put an attack break and a slow that each lasts for 2 turns on every single one of the enemies, which is great for denying turns, because the slower they are to get to their turns, that's less damage that they're dealing to you, which kind of sounds like healing to me. And then their skill 2 is just a huge max HP scaling damage hit. And bosses have a ton of HP, so you can do upwards of 100k with the right rune set. Spectra actually has a secret dungeon any day the Hall of Fire is open, so Tuesday. Number 5, Crow the Dark Inugami. Also, probably a viable first target for Second Awakening still. Crow does huge damage. That's his thing. His skill 3 does that. It scales with the number of debuffs on the target, and it'll apply a brand. And branding increases the amount of damage that the target takes by 25%. He also has a team up on skill 2, which will reduce cooldowns of whoever it brings with it. He's a great monster, and he's still used to this day. I in fact just recommended him as part of the Abyss Dungeon Guide for Dragons. He's available any day the Hall of Dark is open, so Monday or the weekend. Here we go, so we're in the latter half of the list now. Number 4 is Veramos, the Dark Ifrit. Veramos is also the indisputable first fusion you should get now. Before, it used to be an argument between him and Sigmaris, the Water Phoenix, but now it is pretty much just Veramos. Veramos has max HP scaling AoE damage on skill 2, and it also offers a stun, and if it doesn't stun, then you'll get an attack bar reduction. And his passive will auto-cleanse a debuff off every single member of your team automatically at the start of his turn. And then he'll also gain attack bar equal to the number of debuffs that are remaining. So it's possible to cycle a couple turns in a row with him, Not very common in PvE situations, but if you do ever bring him into PvP, you can usually do it up against things like a Nephthys or a Rika. He's also got a 33% HP lead, which is great for giants. And the only reason he's not closer to number 1 on this list is because you're gonna need to 6-star some monsters to get to him, presumably. But if you can prioritize 6-starring him, you probably should. He's super worth it. He's also really helpful in places like Trial of Ascension, where crowd control is king. Number 3, Vertihile, the Fire Vampire. Verd is available via the Fusion Hexagram now, and he offers something very unique. It's a whole team attack bar increase by 20% every single time he crits, and both of his attacks hit twice. So that means every time he moves, presuming you have a 100% crit rate, he's going to boost your whole team by 40%. That's crazy. He's absolutely essential for dragons. So helpful in Trial of Ascension, and you can use him even in the Second Awaken dungeons. That's part of the reason why I put him so high, because him, as part of what I like to call the Summoner's War Holy Trinity, will get you through so much of the Second Awakening dungeons. The next member of that trinity is Lauren, the Light Cowgirl. Lauren offers a combination of things in her passive that is borderline illegal in Summoner's War. They won't let anybody else have it. They took it from Shayna, but Lauren got to keep it. It's defense break and attack bar reduction. And because it's on her passive,
what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Summoner's War. My name is Come To Us Evan, and today we are doing another iteration of account reviews and progression tips. I'm hanging out in chat channel 10 on the global server, so if you have a question, comment, or any concerns with how to continue with your Summoner's War journey, let me know what it is along with your in-game name or your Twitch or YouTube handle, and I will do my dangdest to help you out. Let me say hi to folks in chat real quick. Trabies, what's going on? Celia, salve, salve no chat. Salve bem, Dr. Delight, King Nun. I know that Yuri NT is here too. Kanagi, hey Evan, how are you? How are your arms? They're doing great. Well, actually, so today they're feeling pretty. They're feeling a little bit sore, but that's because I did a bicep back day yesterday, so I'm feeling some fresh soreness now. I'm enjoying the gains from last Wednesday. Actually, guys, dude, credit to Mitchell, who often helps out in the back end of the streams. He was operating the push-up counter. He made a YouTube short for the push-up stream, and that's going to be going live later today. So that'll be on the YouTube channel. Boredom, Luis, what's up? Salvia Stellamaki, it's good to see you guys. It's so good to see you guys today. Real quick, let me do a really big summon session of 4 scrolls real quick. I'm kind of just powering through the scrolls as I get them. I don't know why, but I feel like my luck is better when I just summon small iterations of like little bits of scrolls at a time. Now, with that said though, I did get like 4 nat 5s on Monday. So, you know, none were new. None of them were new. I got a lot of LD attempts, we'll say. I got a lot of LD 3 stars that day. Hard styler Josh, best face to come to us. Keep up the good work, Evan. Your personality is perfect for the fun. Dude, that is so nice. That is such a sweet compliment. Thank you so much for saying that. Insight, hey Evan, my Dragons team is super inconsistent and needs a lot more attack. Could you help me make fail team? My best monsters and runes are out. I've got more though. Yes. So what is your in-game name? Let me know what your in-game name is, Insight. Riz God. Dude. I got the unfortunate Ohio Riz. I got the skibbity Ohio Riz. My bad, chat. You're welcome, man. You deserve it. Have a great day in stream. Thank you so much, Josh. That's really nice. Oh, wait, Insight. Wait, you're Trent. Dude, so many people have changed their names recently. And it's really funny because I know that like Third Nerd changed their names. You've changed your names. I'm getting a lot of it. King Nun, my bad. I promise I'm not gonna talk like that. Okay, let's help Trent out real quick and then I'll go back up because I saw that there were a few questions above this in chat too, but I wanna help as best I can. So you said that you're missing a little bit of attack on your team right now. So admittedly, I'm actually trying to do this at the same time. So I'm in the process of making the Kyle Speed team as well. Fail is rank 1 in time. You know, Fail was just featured in the Guardians Club tournament draft the other day too. I don't know if you saw that, but he actually got chosen as one of the, I forget which team he ended up on, but if you wanted to see that, he's gonna be featured in the upcoming tournament too. Omni King Goku. Hey Evan, can review my account. I need runes to improve. What's up, Fastlix? What's up, Tyler? What's up, everybody? Squishy, good to see you. Let me see what I can do to help, but admittedly, Trent, because you've already gotten such a good time, or the inconsistency part is actually the concerning bit. So the thing, you probably already know this, but I'm gonna repeat a few things that maybe the chat hasn't gotten a chance to hear yet. Phil got crazy times on everything. He's just overtaken to like 2 or 3 though. Really, it's just, oh, Julie lacks a little bit of crit damage. Also, I would say that Kyle does need slightly more crit rate, because if you think about it, there are only 2 monsters in here that are fire. There's actually only 2 fire monsters in dragons, and that's the dragon at the end and the Zyros mid-boss. Everything else is neutral element. So you don't get any bonuses to your crit rate through that, right? So you might benefit from slightly more, because you only get 15% increased crit rate when you're attacking with elemental advantage to begin with. That actually just came up for me. I often get the amount of crit rate you gain from element advantage and the amount of glancing hit chance you get at element disadvantage confused. Because when you're attacking at disadvantage, oh, you're using Seek. Oh, you're using Seek. I'll continue the thought just so that way folks in chat can hear it too, because this was kind of new to me. If you're basically attacking into element disadvantage, you get a 50% chance to glance imposed on you. But like if you're attacking with advantage, you get 15% additional crit rate. So 5-0 glance, 1-5 crit rate, right? You know, can sound a little bit similar, but they're not it. So he's using Seek to apply the crit rate buff. So he is good. 110 and 45. Okay. On all fight, I put on all fight. Oh, and on fatal fight, dude. So this is really good. And you're saying you're just missing attack somewhere? Honestly, this is going to be a hard one to find. This is going to be a difficult one. So you're using a rare rage rune at the bottom. I mean, there's room for improvement there. There is a possibility there, but dude, when you get to this portion here, like it's actually really hard to find little inefficiencies to try to make up for it. King Nundrum says to Kanagi, is your job watching Evan's streams? Hey, don't call Kanagi out. I love having Kanagi here. Julie can't get Trash Wave low enough for Shina to clear without defense break. And I see it. It would be too slow for Shina to begin to do the defense break is basically what you're feeling. Let me see what I can try to find. Crit damage. Man, the lowest one you got is 19. The lowest one that you have is 19 on this one. Dude, this is hard. This is really difficult to find. What you may want to try to do is find 2 more fight sets here. And by 2 more fight sets, I mean 2 more fight runes. That might be the best way for you to do it, is to try to get Shina on 3 sets of fight. I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here, dude, but like right now, like this is pretty incredible. And are you finding that it is dying? This shouldn't be dying. Or are you finding it that it's just slow of fails ranking? And that's it, dude. I wish I could help you more with this, Trent, but I think you're at that point where it's just like little differences. Like for instance, the rage rune that's a rare on Kyle's slot 4. Like there's room for that to maybe get more rolls if it were a higher rarity rune. And then like for Shina, if you were able to get that slot 2 and slot 6 onto fight instead, that might give you what you need to kind of push through it. But it's really tough for me to lock in on a place and say improve this when you're already doing such a great job of that, like truly. What's up, Nightmare? Billy Arm. So Nightmare needs help picking a core team. And I think I saw somebody in chat saying something very similar. Is this you? Let me check real quick. Let me check on this real fast. Let me check on that real quick. Okay. So Nightmare, let's see what we're working with. So you're currently F3 in RTA. That's a really difficult like wall to break through. I talk about that quite often, is the F3 to C1 wall is really tough. The SW community is any other game that's this, the chat would be wild. King Nundrum. You know, that's so funny. I never thought about it like that. I think it's because, so we've been doing like Come To Us stream for a really long time. So I think it's just that, you know, the audience has kind of been cultivated. And I will agree that it's like, the community that comes here is pretty awesome. Like, right, you know, folks come here to genuinely try to get like a, like help and support. Carnegie just tagged me for Evansplaining right now. You're right, Carnegie, I'm getting back to work. You're right, I'm Evansplaining. So F3 and RTA, you need a core team to work with. Let's go ahead and look. I love questions like this because I kind of get to live vicariously through other people's monster boxes. So we got some bruisery stuff. We got a Chandra. Got a Chandra in here. We got a Bellio. Dude, I love my Bellio so much. Speed lead. We got Josephine, who's one of my favorite counter picks in RTA. I love that unit. Miles. Oh, Zabola and Jongnam. Wow, okay, we're keeping that in mind. Guys, I've been like picking Juno, like in the second slot of RTA, and have yet to be punished for it. It's like, this monster is awesome. Oh, and you got the jet ski transmog, that's awesome. Yeah, I love Juno. Juno's absolutely a counter pick, but it's to the point where she is just so good that you can like actually just rip her in a draft super early, and it'll be fine. Squishy says, I just took a hiatus from SW and missed it. Which one did you miss? JSKey123 on YouTube says, what channel for review requests? It's Chat Channel 10. Chat Channel 10. Let me know what you need help with, and also tell me that you are who you are on YouTube or Twitch, so that way I know who I'm talking to. And I will try to help you. Man, this monster, by the way, Jogun, I don't know if you guys saw this, but we did like a surprise stream on Monday that was the Guardians Club tournament draft. And Hiroshin and I did a few like 2v2 games up against Ian and Bloom. And Hiro used Jogun, and it was so good in 2v2. Because it turns out that sending one monster to the Shadow Realm is actually really good. It's actually really good. TC Arrow, what's good, Evan? Mind taking a look at mine? I just want to know where to go next. Absolutely, dude. I would love to help you with that. Sometimes just getting a little bit of direction is so important. Yo, wait a minute. Wait a minute. 10 toes in. Oh, he is 10 toes in. And he's standing on business. Okay. Oliver back here. Wind Robo. Smicer. Let me see if you have any LDs that are... Oh, look at this. Let's see if you have any LDs that are going to push me in one direction or another. But I think I know what I'm going to recommend you already. Okay, so you actually have what it takes to play a very comprehensive bruiser play style, or you could skew crowd control. I don't know which way you'd want to go. You can take a hybrid approach if you wanted. So actually, I'm very impressed with your monster box. So if you wanted to pick something like Chandra early, you can do that. In fact, I think you might be incentivized to do so. Other things to think about, a Zabala would be great. He is more crowd control. So instead of Zabala, for this strategy that I'm talking about right now, the one that started with Chandra in the first pick, I'd actually recommend Jongnam. Jongnam we've actually seen in SWC. I think Vinny was playing with Jongnam, right? What about Ren, the Light Minato? Wait, did he have Light Minato? I did not see that. I'll have to go back and take a look. I actually didn't see if he had the Light Minato. Carrying along with this train of thought though, so the Jongnam is really cool because he can provide damage. He can provide that true damage skill that we know Gapsu has, but then he also has crowd control on skill 3. Then I think you could also pick something like, I think you could incorporate Juno or Velajul. I think either or, because both of these monsters are going to be like picked up against you. No way. Estella Maki says, Emil, in case anyone needs it, I just opened Cowgirl Secret Dungeon in Chat 10. Dude, bless you, Estella Maki. Guys, take a look at that. Lyrical Legend, Zibala and Smicer, my signatures now. Hopefully one day I get a Kovarchi. Dude, that would be awesome. Oh, is this... Help me out with Riff Raid, I'm suffering. Man, breaking into rift raids, breaking into like raids level 5 can be so difficult. I'm helping Michael with that right now, actually. I just runed up a couple of his monsters. I need to like do more. I need to help him like re-rune some other stuff. But he got a Marna semi-recently. And so like he's kind of ready to get, he's ready to cheese his way through some content. And I think that's gonna be awesome. So we've talked about Jongnam, Chandra, Velajul. I think Velajul would be really helpful here because like I said, people are gonna try to pick him against you. Other fire unit to have ruined is gonna be Asher. Now, I'd like to just pause on Asher real quick and talk about how bonkers strong this monster is. He has heal, cleanse, multi-hitting defense break. He has strip and silence and heal block on skill 1. This is probably my favorite monster in RTA right now. Like when I'm actually like not memeing around and picking like Magnum and Carlos, I think Asher is probably the most consistent monster that I have in my box. So I would definitely have him ruined. The only thing that I would keep in mind with this is that I've now told you to rune up Chandra, Velajul, Jongnam, and Asher. And all of these guys require extremely high HP. So we might have to kind of like make a few caveats down the line, but they are all off of a very similar build. So I'm wondering if your runes might get a little bit like stretched thin, in which case we can try to find more. But honestly, I don't think HP runes, like they're not as difficult to find as some of the other ones, right? Like, you know, finding runes with combination of speed, crit rate, crit damage, that can be tough. Welcome everybody. Welcome guys, welcome to the stream. So you could pick Oliver. I don't think he's super necessary in this draft, to be honest. Like, I'd prefer to run something annoying like Smicer. I've only told you to bring 1 speed lead so far with Chandra, but like, oh, you do have Shun. Shun can be kind of good damage for the comp. I don't know if he necessarily fits what we're trying to do. I don't know if he necessarily fits what we're trying to do, but like he can actually put a lot of pressure on people. Put a lot of pressure. So that's my suggestion. My suggestion is to go for the bruiser approach. Like with the Jongnam, the Chandra, you could run something like the Shun if you wanted to pressure them, but I think it's important to just like pivot that direction, Nightmare, because you have a lot of good stuff for that playstyle that we were talking about before. Okay. Sadiel and Zuria. Oh, this is interesting. There's no button to... I just realized that when looking at this... Oh, wait, there it is. Slow and strip... A strip and slow. I think people were... And an attack speed buff. So strip and slow and an attack speed buff grants immunity. Like someone who's stunned for 1 turn. I think people were kind of excited about the wind one back in the day. Like I seem to remember the wind one getting the most attention out of them. Like the water one and the wind one got attention, and now people are also into the light one. But that, yeah, he seems like he could be cool for you, Fastlex. Omni Sun Goku, what did you need help with? Could you remind me what you needed? Reverb says, Steel Fortress, Spiritual Realm, Punisher's Crypt are all unfinished. I know I have monsters that can do it. Please help me. Sure thing, I can help you with that. Where, oh, and also right here, here's the Lauren secret dungeon, by the way, if you guys need Lauren's. Oh, need help with Necro. Okay, let's do Necro real quick. Oh my God. What level of SSJ is that? I know, for whatever reason, this keeps coming up in every single stream, but dude, I'm like hyped for Sparking Zero. I think Sparking Zero is gonna be really dope. It looks so fun. I was a Tenkaichi 3 fan. I played a lot of Tenkaichi 3. I played Raging Blast, and like, I think I played Raging Blast 1 and 2, and then I did both of the Xenoverse games. I played a little bit of Kakarot, but like, I didn't actually like get super deep into it. I kind of just did the thing where you get the DLCs, and then you kind of power level up to the point where you have like SSJ3, like before you even fight Frieza. And I really liked that. That was really cool. Sparking Zero, we in this? Yeah. I'm sorry, I just kind of went on like a very significant DBZ tangent. Yeah, that's... PR37 Gamer, boa tarde, fala meu mano. Fala no chat, tudo beleza, lindão? Abração pro gamer. Let's see, game looks so good though, no it actually does. Insight says, I'm actually making a game and need 5 classes. I've got strength and speed in 1, crafting, magic, and durability. Strength and speed, crafting, magic, durability. What should the 5th one be? Interesting. Oh, King Nundrum, I was speaking a little bit of gibberish. Sorry, what did bro just say? I was talking about DBZ games. Oh, I thought you were talking about the whole thing that I went on. No, I was speaking, I only know enough Portuguese to like make people from Brazil laugh. That's it. So sometimes I'll say a few of that. So what are you doing with Necro Abyss right now? So you're using a combination of Shina and Zenobia with Aster, Riley, and Shaman. I think we could kind of do away with some of this stuff. I think maybe what we could do is we could incorporate a few of the dogs, maybe bring in Ergar, something like that. Ultimately, I am actually less of a fan of the twins in this, and I also don't know if you need Riley. Quasi Estella Maki, quasi bene. I think maybe what I think maybe what we could do. So I love Ikaru in this dungeon. I notice you don't have enough defense to get the maximum number of pulls from him, so that's okay. We can use Rauk instead. Big fan of the Astro though. Exactly, Dudano. We're gonna kick Riley out. I don't think we need the twins. I don't think we need Riley. I think maybe we could get further in this with like incidental healing. My favorite thing to do is do incidental healing. Oh, but that said though. With that said though, I do not see Ergar. So I might give you a little bit of homework. Alternatively, I might tell you to sub in Fran for now. Like, technically speaking, you could use Fran. But like, because ultimately what we want is we want attack buff and like incidental healing. So maybe we could use Fran because she hits 3 times on skill 1. Riley only hits once. So I think maybe what we'll do is I think we're gonna shift this a little bit to be Water Cannon Girl. We're gonna use the Water Cannon, you have the Water Cannon Girl. We're gonna use Abigail, who has a fantastic 38% attack lead in dungeons. I'm so sad. Wait. Synpex. What was that? I fed my shaman because I thought he's bad. Oh no. Yeah, don't worry. He is an SD now. He's actually a secret dungeon, so you can get him back super easily now. It didn't used to be that easy to get Shaman, but now you can get him pretty reliably. So we'll use Abigail for her 38% attack lead in dungeons. After her, I actually think that maybe what you should do is you should go Fran first. Like rune Fran so that she goes the fastest on the team. Use Abigail's leader skill. Following Abigail should be Rauk. So that's 3 units down. After Rauk, we go Aster, and then Shaman. And that's also that's the turn order that we should be using too. So that in theory is the turn order. Now, if you want to try to get away without using Fran, you could actually put Crow in her spot. But I think that for now, you should probably use this. Shaman is so good. It's crazy to me that he exists, actually. Like, his second awakening is awesome. Hydrowski, hello, how we doing? No survey yet? Wait, there should be a survey. Oh wait, I have to post it. Sorry, YouTube chat. I got you, there we go. Dropping the survey in. Okay. I sent a message in chat channel 10 earlier. Hopefully you get a chance to look at it in game. Okay, let me jump back. I'm gonna start moving a little bit faster. I always do this. I get kind of locked in on certain accounts and then I don't do anything. Oh, Squishy, there we go. I need help with Rift Raid level 5. Pulled many unruined mons out of storage. You know, so this, oh yeah. So you know what, dude? I don't think I'd worry about Rift level 5 just yet. I think it's more important that we get you into Giant's Abyss hard, Dragon's hard, and Necro hard. I just went over Necro hard. Whoa, you've got Sigrid. Wow, you've got a Sigurd already. That's insane. That's actually crazy. Aromon, what's going on? We're always forgotten here on YouTube. No, you're not forgotten. I do forget that I have to, sometimes I do forget to press Control V, if I'm being honest. There we go. I'll do it one more time because I was so sorry. I'm so sorry, so I post it again. Okay, we're gonna change up this comp pretty significantly. So out of this one, we're only keeping Veramos. Everything else is gonna change, actually. Oh, you have a Kamamir. You might already be using a Kamamir, actually, and it just might not have like made the record and been tracked in the book. You know, it's one of those places in the game where like Nat 5s from scrolls, like summon Nat 5s, are not always as good as some of their free-to-play counterparts. Like for instance, like the free-to-play Nat 5s of Veramos and Akamamir, like they are all-stars here. So we'll use Veramos' lead, right? And you already have him ruined on crit damage. Bless you, that's fantastic. I would put him on speed though. I would put him on speed slot 2, crit damage, and HP. That's what I would do. And I like that this is broken, right? This is not a full set, this is a broken set, and that's completely fine. You don't need to stress about getting a full set on Veramos for PvE. So speed, crit damage, HP, just so that way he like can stick around for longer. And we really want that speed. We want him to be there taking turns. Like speed loosely translates to more turns, right? It doesn't just determine turn order. So we want him to do more of that. I like the way you've got your Akamamir runes. This actually doesn't need as much changing as it might look. I would just max this. I would max this, and then I would change this rune out to be attack, right? And if you wanted, like, I noticed you've got it's double blade and nemesis. Instead, you could just rune him on like swift or fatal. Just put swift or fatal, speed, crit damage, attack, right? And remember, broken sets are fine. Broken sets are okay. But a main set of fatal would be great on him. So we've talked about 2 members of the team. Let's talk about the others. I think we're going to use Second Awakened Shannon for this one, who should be ruined on Swift, Speed, HP. It can be accuracy. The 6 slot doesn't matter too much. It can be speed, HP, accuracy. It can be like anything, but ideally just HP. Like all she wants to do is hang out. That's all she needs to do. She just needs to be the first one to move on the team. So you see how, like, for instance, this rune here has speed under accuracy? That little, and this is something that I don't bring up all the time. That little line of text below accuracy, that is called an innate stat, an innate, I-N-N-A-T-E, innate stat. And that one cannot be upgraded. So that is just part of the rune. And so having speed up there is not often a good thing, because usually you want runes to roll into speed. That's the case a lot of the time. And so in this case, what I might do is I would say swap this rune out because it's not really contributing a lot of speed to her. So I would go speed slot 2, HP, and anything, but look for speed in the substats. That's ultimately what you want to do. For your next slot, so that's 3 monsters we've talked about so far. Technically speaking, you can use Second Awakened Bernard here. And then you can also use Second Awakened Belladon. But if you didn't want to use Bernard, you could use Crow. Since you have Crow runed up already, I would say just, yeah, go for it. Use him. I think that's great. This account is pretty set, to be honest. You have a lot of cool stuff in here, especially with the Sigrid. Sigrid is like a really desirable LD 5-star. She's actually seen use in SWC this year too. So Squishy, work on getting the Giants time down and getting into Giants Abyss hard. And if you want more details on that team, I would check out the video on our YouTube channel. So, and by the way, because you originally were asking about raids, level 5, right? Because you were originally asking about raids, let me just explain as to why I didn't do that yet. So, raids is really hard content, right? On purpose. And it's a way to push, like all the grinds that you get from raids level 5s, they are a way to push your runes past their limit, to pass them past the point where you normally couldn't go any further with them. And like also to skyrocket your progression, to be honest. But like at this point in the game, what you really need are runes. More so than the grinds for them. Like you need the runes so you can grind them. And that's kind of the natural progression of the game. So you want to go Giants, then go Dragons, then go like Necro, make sure you can clear TOA. Heck yeah, Squishy, anytime, dude, anytime. Is the wind version of Sigrid any good? Oh, Black Bear, I'm a returning player after 7 years, but I'm amazed how many units some people already have, but haven't done Abyss level hard stages. Dude, it can happen. Sometimes people they don't have the direction. And that's part of the reason why I like doing these streams, is sometimes it can be hard to know where to go in Summoner's War. Because in the beginning, right, it's very, that opening tutorial is tap here, tap here, tap here, tap here. But then after that, you're off and they stop holding your hand. It's kind of crazy. You really need help sometimes. I needed help. I was just farming elemental halls. I was getting magic essences, you know? Okay. The wind version of Sigrid is not really usable. She doesn't really have a home, to be honest. She has a monster spotlight on the channel, but it's too old to kind of be used anymore because it was pre-Abyss dungeons, and Abyss bosses are immune to dots. And she really needs people to have dots on them. Oh, guys. Stand by, let me check messages real quick. Oh. Okay. 13-day-old account, I'm just lost what to focus on. I don't think I've been lucky with units. I don't know what to farm and just keep returning every couple hours. Oh yeah, Wayne, what's your in-game name? Let me see if I can help you. I'm gonna get into chat channel 10 again because I got in the bug where the game crashed for a second because of, like I said, I think that only happens to me. I really think that only happens to me, unfortunately. Oh my God. Always OP. Actually, while you guys are typing your messages again in chat, this would be a really good time for me to reference that there is the America's Cup coming up on October 12th, and registration is open for that too. There's actually a command set up for that on Stream Elements, so if you're watching on Twitch and you type in Command America's Cup, you'll get the registration link for that. Again, October 12th, Las Vegas. If you think you can make it, you should probably go because there's gonna be a lot of very unique rewards that are specific to the regional cups. For this one, you can actually get blocks, you can get some blocks of the arena. You doing tips for global? I am doing tips for global right now. Okay, I need help with arena offense. Too dependent on Galleon RNG and have no replacement for him. No replacement for Galleon. I don't mind Galleon though. I gotta say, I think Galleon's pretty good. Those are blocks, right? Yeah, private wing. Oh, they're blocks, all right. So Galleon is really good though. So alternatively, if there is, so you're probably using a variation of the Cocky Cleave, right? Yeah, you're absolutely using a variation of the Cocky Cleave. Tiana, Galleon, Cocky, +1. So if there's ever a time where you're feeling like that is not optimal, or you don't think you're gonna be able to land the defense break from Galleon, or you just don't want the variance or something like that, I would look into a dot team, actually. So you know how I was just talking about how dots can't be used in the Abyss dungeons anymore? Or they never could, rather? Dot teams are actually decent in arena offenses. So what you can do is you can bring something to strip, you bring Saf, you bring Nora, something like that, right? And you just dot the heck out of them. I don't think you actually need to detonate the dots per se, but ultimately it's kind of like a control comp, but focused on dots. So I think I would look into a few of those. I think maybe Sean B has done. I think Sean B might have used it in arena. I'm not sure. Off the top of my head, if he has, I don't see any of the monsters that you traditionally need. Oh, there we go. There's one. Does this monster do dots? Ooh, this is something interesting. And with the Oblivion, the in addition spreads harmful effects granted on the target to a random enemy target. Whoa, that's actually kind of sick. You might be able to use something like that. Let me look into this real quick. Yeah, so I would look at, oh, an Amber. Wait, where's Amber? I just saw Amber. There she is. Dude, wait a minute. There we go. Sorry, Evan. No, you're good, Death the Kid. What's up, dude? Yes, I am on global right now. I'm on global. Dude, an Amber is the follow-up. That's what it is. Okay, back to the top here. Sending message again, looking for general review and RTA help. Okay. Been playing for 1,633 days. We got a really fast Giants time. We got a really fast Dragons time too. Oh my God. Yeah, your teams are looking fantastic. Oh my God. My diggity dog, this is crazy. Okay, let's see what we can do for RTA. What do you like to play in RTA right now? Oh, are you using this? This is Kid is kind of like a pseudo Veronica. Very Veronica-esque with the third skill. Let me see what else is in chat. Sorry guys, it's kind of moving fast. I accidentally fought on my Camilla and Water Beast Rider come to us said that it's way back in 2020. No, dude, I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay. What are you using in RTA currently? I see you have one of my most wanted monsters. You actually have two very good starting monsters with Kid and Cigar. Both of them kind of want to do similar things. You have Sonya for snipe. You have Shun for ignore defense. Dude, you're kind of like, your account is kind of split in like two directions. You've got the control from Cigar. You've got the pseudo, like the opener control from Kid. Then you've got Shun and Sonya that want to do like high ignore defense damage. So you're kind of being pulled in different directions here. You're being pulled towards like, I mean, I suppose they don't have to exist entirely independently. Like you could run these units together in theory, but like, I don't see too much synergy between those two. Oh, wait a minute. Are we starting to see some though? Like, could you do like a comp where it's something like a Cigar, like where you do like Cigar or Kid, and then Ren, Shun, and Sonya? It's kind of a little mishmashy, you know, but like, I don't think it's necessarily bad. Maybe you use the Wind Robo for this instead. Dude, yeah, you're getting pulled in different directions for sure. But I don't think they could entirely. Hey, Evan, I'm ignored in YouTube chat. Can you help me with an RTA comp? Vanessa, Nana, Miles, Masha, Wusa, please help. So Sean W, let me see if I can help. Oh, and then we've got Wolf. Wolf, I saw you in chat a second ago. What did you need help with? Oh, Necro Abyss. So we just talked about Necro Abyss. Oh wow, you've got a Nefties? You got a Nefties already? Let me see what you're doing here. Oh, and you're a JJK fan. Let's go. My dude. So this is like this is very reminiscent of like what my first Necro team looked like. Of course, I don't think we didn't have Second Awakens back then, but like this is very reminiscent of what I used. Let's talk about it super briefly, just because I already covered it. And I know you asked for siege tips as well. It's something that I would say for siege tips, you know, it's like if we see some standout monsters, we can talk about them for sure. But like, I would recommend like checking out other content creators who do like Guild War videos. That really helped me out in the beginning. Alternatively, this comes up quite often. I'm still not sure if I'm allowed to recommend it, but like the SW Guild Tools, I think it's SW Guild Tools. Let me check this out. Is it Guild Tools? Yeah, it's SWGT, SW Guild Tools. Like they're actually they have a pretty comprehensive site where they talk about like siege defenses and like counters and stuff. It's a really nice resource for people. So, you know, I'll recommend it more as a player than as a come to us rep, right? You know, I don't, but I really think that it's a cool resource. Looking back into your Necro account real quick, or your Necro team rather. Sorry guys, my words are all twisted today. I don't know what's going on with that. Kingdom, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to recommend it. Recommends it. Oh, Sean. Sean, I got you, dude. I can help you. You're Sean W in chat, right? Exactly, Hidrolski. There's a lot of guides that'll help you do things more specifically. So, you know, I can do my best to try to help you and give you direction right now, but if you want more details than I can give, like, in the moment, like, just, we have videos on that stuff as well. So we can keep Fran and Lauren. You're still kind of in the beginning. I would use Shaman since you got him. I really, really like Airgar for this comp, and I'm noticing not a lot of people have Airgar. So maybe that should be homework for folks in chat. If you don't have Airgar the Dark Vampire Lord, I would say to get him, specifically if you don't have Abigail. Check to see if you have the Water Cannon Girl first, and then if you don't, get Ergar, because they have the same dungeon lead. They have the same leader skill. Jared says, never got to catch a live stream. Are you still on Global? Would love to get a review on what to do next and maybe solo R5 team returning after 4 years. Dude, one last dab. Wow. I'm sorry, this is your first time on the live stream. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad you found your way here. Welcome. Exactly. And Konagi made a really good point about Ergar right now, that he's helpful in the Rift dungeons too. So it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Guys, since more people just joined into the stream, I just wanted to mention one more time that we do have the America's Cup coming up for SWC 2024. It's on October 12th, it's in Las Vegas, and we have registration open right now. If you think you can make it, you should absolutely use the link that's attached to the Command America's Cup on Twitch. So type that in. If you need more details too, you can also find it via the in-game as well. But yeah, it would be great for you guys to go. I'm gonna be there. I'll be there for sure. So we recommended Ergar as your lead. Then I would do Rauk, Fran, Lauren, Shaman. That's what I would say, because I don't see Astar in here. I think that actually might be enough to improve your Necro team. Let's keep moving because I'm getting a lot of people in here. Sean W. Sean W, I've been seeing message. Stoic, but that's not stoic because it's spelled the right way. Unless he reversed it. It's not Seots. So Sean W, you're C2 right now and you just need assistance with RTA comp? Dude, you're looking good, man. You got a lot more stuff than just what you mentioned. Looking really good, dude. We can hop in. But you have a lot more stuff. Stoic says saving Seots for Special League. Oh man, Skyfell says just got ignored hard. So sorry if you guys, I'm so sorry if I end up ignoring people or if you feel ignored. I'm watching a few chats, so it's sometimes can be, things fall between the cracks. That's my bad, guys. It's Benny. Thank you, dude. That's so nice. Okay, so, oh wow, you got the Rameo and Judaya. Raj is getting a lot of play. It's getting a lot of play right now, actually. Especially in SWC. We're seeing this monster picked a ton. I'm actually thinking about making a video about him, to be honest. Because this is a cool monster. Turns out versatility goes a long way, right? Because each of these skills is kind of, well, I think with the exception of maybe like this one that like attacks everybody and has a chance to stun, each ability is kind of like half a skill, or maybe I would value it at like maybe 0.75. So it's like you end up with higher value because you're using this monster. But I know that some people say that he's a little bit overrated, but I think he's great. I saw Chow back there too, who's seeing a lot of play. I know Seishizo isn't happy about that one. Guts, are you a Berserk fan? I'm new and I'm kind of stuck at floor 55 of TOA. Any suggestions? I forget what floor 55 is, but I think I might be able to recommend you a team that could kind of get you just through it. Junior says, yeah, Streamluck just got a plus 22 speed slot 3 Vio with innate 6% crit damage. Thanks, Evan. Oh my God. Dude, congratulations on the rune. I wish I could take credit for that, but I think that's all you, dude. Skyfell, what do you think about Dark Megami? Because it's new and I just got it. Oh my God, congratulations. I think that like Dark Megami is like kind of comparable to like, so it's comparable to what Maximilian is doing, but without outright damage. So it's kind of like a crowd control version of Max instead of Cleave, right? So imagine a room, any place where you would draft a Maximilian, if you're going for like crowd control, you could bring Dark Megami. Feels a little bit weird to compare him to Maximilian and say without the damage, because so much of Maximilian is like, damage. But like, basically you can see the similarities in the sense that it's a multi-hit. They're trying to apply everything under the sun, AoE. And then he provides a little bit of incidental stuff along the way. Like he's got a really solid first skill. But like, I think Dark Megami is actually pretty great. out of all the monsters, because especially the JGK collab, a lot of those monsters need a buff, right? Like, speaking plainly, to me, I think a lot of them need a buff. Dark Megami needs less of a buff, and that's a big compliment. That is a huge compliment. So what are you playing with right now, Sean? What are you playing with? Because you know, you mentioned a few monsters, but I don't think, some of those are, you know, some of those monsters, I don't know if you're using them in your core comp. I would play like pseudo meta if you got it. You have Asher back here too. You could do like Raj into like Asher. You could do Raj, Velajul. You have Cigar. Or like the Wind Robo. I kind of want to diversify elements here. What's Ritsu do? I always forget what Ritsu does. Oh, he gets you the turn in place of them. That's right, he gets you the turn. Dude, this account is so dope. Maybe we do, actually, you know what? Maybe we scrap it and go like Vanessa and we play like Minato at the end or something like that. Maybe you just pressure them with high damage monsters. Pick Vanessa, you know, pick Vanessa, pick something blue after that. Like maybe either pick either Moore or Barbara for the start. You know, you could be like Lest. Something like that would be super hype. You could play legitimately kind of like Lest plays. Get turn one, do big damage, have Minato for sustained damage, have Ritsu for shenanigans, something like that. I think that sounds really fun. Sean, I hope, you know, you could I'd love to see what your core comp is right now. I hope this helps somehow, but to be honest, dude, it looks like you're pretty good right now, especially hovering in C2. I'd love to know what your core is, but that's nice stuff. Welcome back. Looking for a review and a direction for RTA, says Megalopolis. Okay, and right now you haven't actually placed an RTA yet. And you've managed to do, you've done TOA, got good times for all of your content, and Abyss Hard for all the main dungeons. Wow. Anytime, Skyfell. Happy to help, dude. I missed last stream and I've been stuck farming. Gerard, I will try my best to get to you. Let me move quickly through this. Okay, let's give a little bit of direction because you're trying to break into RTA. And it looks like you've been farming. You have a beautiful island. Beautiful island, actually. Some people use Lionel. I don't think I'm going to be recommending him right now just because I haven't seen anything that's going to that makes me love him. You have a couple really good support monsters right out the bat. Like Praha and Anavel are just fantastic units. Actually, you have a few high quality water monsters here. Let's take a stroll, see what else you got. You got Okeanos, I'm seeing. You have Asher. High density of Ashers today. Almost everybody I've looked at has an Asher. You have Kraka, you have Etna. You have her sister, Etna. Okay, we have Risa. Okay, so it seems like I think we'll probably stick. Oh, you've got Evan. Let's go. Oh, and a Carlos enabler. If you ever pull Carlos, you can actually do some fun combos with this. Oh, Cigar back here. Yo, okay. Okay. So we got Cigar. We got Cigar back here. I would say maybe build him. I think this is one of the, to be honest, dude, chat, I'd love to hear your opinion on this. I think Cigar might be one of the best elemental nat 5s for RTA right now. And I'd love to hear what you think. Specifically, Fire, Water, Wind. Like, out of the Holy Trinity, I think he's the best. Consistent crowd control on every single skill. Every single skill, he's got it. What's up, someone? Oh, what did Guts say? Am I the owner of Summoners War? Yeah, no, I'm just, I'm not the, that's so funny. No, I'm not the owner of Summoners War. I'm just the, I'm a content producer here, under the marketing team at the US office. I'm too lazy to check if I have Asher in storage. Dude, Dono, if you're too lazy to check storage, that is an incredible level of laziness, dude. I had Asher in storage and it was great. So you could actually do a comp where you do some pretty consistent like crowd control via provokes. So if you wanted to pair like Cigar with like Parjanya, you could bring Okeanos, you could bring Praha, and then Anavel to set up defense breaks. And then you just get incremental value over people, right? Because it's like Anavel provides a 3-turn defense break. Praha has sleep and heal for your comp. Parjanya is like, he can do chip damage, but he also keeps people under control. I think I already mentioned Okeanos, but the AoE stun he's actually been seeing some play recently, and he can also increase cooldown time on skill too. So that means that when people do eventually get their turns, they're reset. And that is just a dream. Love this monster. And Cigar can be your opener. I think that might be a good direction to start. Maybe just see if you like that play style, play around with it a little bit. I really want Cigar. He's one of my most wanted.
No problem, princess. Fatty Poop says, "Heyo, need help with progression. I don't know what to do. Please and thank you." Oh, you've only been playing for like 36 days.
Oh, this music got really good all of a sudden.
Dude, this music is killing it right now. You've already done TOA.
Got hard clears for all the Abyss dungeons.
What about raids? You're doing raids already? No way. Is this solo? Solo R5? Solo R5 that you're actually making the clear? You got triple S's on everything? Dude, in 36 days, this is stellar progress.
I think here's what you could do. I think you could do a series of things just from the book. So I think we're gonna start to focus on World Arena a little bit, or, yeah, gym music. I think you're gonna start trying to figure out if you wanna like get into RTA, you wanna dive a little deeper into guilds, but at the same time, I actually think you might be able to speed up your dungeon teams a little bit, at least the Giants, because you have 2 healers right now, and I don't think you need them. I actually don't think you need the healers. I think you could actually just like make this team really shine by taking out Riley and Bella Dion and instead like putting in enablers. You're actually really close to doing a speed team right now. Like for reference, this is very similar to what my team is right now, but instead of Riley and Bella, I'm actually just using, I'm using Konamiya to boost back up Teshar, and I'm using Prylia. I'm using Prylia for defense break. So yeah, I think you could speed that up. I really like I wouldn't touch your Dragons team right now unless you want to like eventually transition to the Kyle comp. And for Necro, once you eventually get an Abigail, you can swap him out, or you could go for Ergar. Your guild's name is I don't know what to do. That's so funny. Oh, you got Abigail. There you go. You could throw Abigail into the lead. You could throw Abigail into the lead position. Are you working on the Kyle comp? Oh my gosh, you demon. You are working on the Kyle comp. Bro is 36 days in, and he's working on the Kyle speed team. Wow. I'm impressed. I'm actually like so impressed right now. Like, you are making such stellar progress. You already have a Prylia. Dude's already thinking about this stuff. Dude, this guy has done his homework. Wow. You know what? That makes me want to post the survey. I'm posting the use command new survey. If you're watching on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, I just pasted the link on YouTube chat. Let me reply to a quick message real quick. All right, cool. Just replying to a quick message real quick. All right, it's clear to me that you're already thinking about this, which is awesome. I would start maybe thinking about like dabbling in some guilds in RTA, man. Like you're already a part of a guild. You got Smicer back here and Zima. That's pretty cool. And Charlotte. Okay, so you're in a position where if you wanted to, you could make a free-to-play RTA comp and splash in monsters that you've summoned along the way, or also utilize a few of the support monsters that are given for free. So while, yeah, I think the support monsters definitely, like, they have a cap, right? You know, they're not the best out there. But I think there's room to kind of play with different comps to see if you like them. You know, just to kind of get the idea. But you already have things like the Carnal back here. You got the Carnal back here, you've got the Cigar, or I'm sorry, you've got the Smicer, and you've got the Zima. Dude, you open with Zima. You have Smicer to provide like consistent annoyances, and you have Carnal to like push everybody back and stun. That's a core right there. Zima. Absolutely. And of course, you can always do like free to play stuff in there too. Lauren is actually still good in RTA. You can use her along with it. You could even cleave if you wanted. You could do a snipe comp with Verd and Rauk. Like I've seen some crazy stuff that people bring out. Wow, nicely done, Fatty Poops. That's pretty awesome. Shadow, can you help me build a defense and offense for probably Arena? Probably not, they probably don't mean RTA, they probably just mean Arena. Let me look at your defense real fast. Oh, so right now it's just a stand-in. Oh, you've got the light Gapsu? What? Wait a minute. What's going on here? Wait, chat. Isn't Light Gapsu like a part of, wait, what is his name? Isn't he part of like a really fast Giants team? I know you probably need crazy runes for that. Where is that fool? Wait a minute. Oh, everything's put away. No, everything's put away right now. That Light Gapsu thing, that is actually used for a really fast Giants team. Before you ask, yes, I would hit that defense. Okay, so there's only so, I can't really make super great recommendations here based on like what's in the, what's out of storage. Hold on one second. Let's look this up. Because I don't even think he needs to take turns, right? I think he's just there for his passive, or am I mistaken? Yuldong increases critical damage by 100% when an ally attacks the enemy and decreases the damage taken by 10% for every buff granted on the ally when an ally is attacked by the enemy. So this monster is just like a stand-in. PvE cheat code, just a stand-in, yes. Oh, I'm on global server right now. Dude, Yuldong is like actually like insane. If you have him, you can just run him on a comp. You can use him better as like better Deborah, says Beer right there. That's dude. So it wasn't out, and there's not too much I can say in terms of recommendation for arena defenses since I wasn't able to see the monsters. But like, please use it. If you're not using that monster, use that monster. He just came up in conversation the other day actually, and he's really cool. Girth Windfine. All right, back up here real quick. Haji and Adam, good advice. Oh, maybe you didn't need anything in particular. Let's scroll through real quick, guys. I'm trying to see if there's maybe a new question that we haven't covered yet. Buff like Gojo. Dude, I feel like a lot of the JJK units could maybe use a little something. Please help with Dragon's Abyss. DB Abyss hard. I need direction going into PvP. King Nundrum. Oh, I just realized that that's a play on Conundrum. It took me a while. It took me a while to realize that, King Nundrum. So you said that your Dragon's Abyss team is what you need assistance with? Honestly, if you're using this comp, it might be a speed tuning thing. Let's go in and look real quick. So again, guys, for anybody who's trying to build this comp, right? Oh, and it's also a Verd thing. Okay. Well, we already found an issue, which is good. That's good, right? Zachary Beckery says my message got skipped. Which one was your message, Zachary? What was your message? I'm sorry. I was trying to find a new something to help with that we hadn't really talked about. I know we talked about Giants, we talked about Necro a lot, we talked about RTA, so I wanted to see if I could maybe get one in for Dragons. That's quite the word. I need to use that word in SWC. Which word was that one? Okay, so for anybody who's trying to make this one, King Nundrum. And it's a good name. It's a very good word. Excellent word. Let me break down the speed tuning for this real quick. Lyrical Legend, I got skipped too. I need help with Siege. Wait, Lyrical, didn't I? Was it you that I talked to about that, or was it somebody else that I mentioned? So for specific like Siege advice, because I don't want to get too into the weeds on this, but like, you know, what's really helpful to me is that I like SW guild tools. To be totally honest, as a player, again, you know, that was the whole conversation we had where I'm not recommending it as like a Come2's employee. I'm recommending it as like a, as a player, right? You know, and then also watching other people play Guild Wars on YouTube, because I don't really make like dedicated, oh, it was Wolf, because I don't really make dedicated guild content. Maybe I should, actually. Maybe if we had like a guild focused stream, would that be cool? Let me know if you guys like that. I've thought about that before, but I sometimes I feel like I'm not a guild player, but maybe you guys could help me with that. Maybe you guys could help me. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So watching some guild-focused content and then also using like external resources like that to look into what RTA, or excuse me, what siege comps are being problematic and if there's counters to them, I think that's really helpful. Oh, got it, Sean. It's a one-trick pony. Vanessa, Nana, Miles, Masha, Wu said double revive, double damage, and healing, shield, immunity comp. Dude, I think you have such a unique, like, and expansive box that I actually think that you could probably diversify that a little bit. Like, you had some really cool, stuff in there. I think maybe it might be selling your account a little bit short to just do kind of like a double revive, like, or rather like immunity, kind of like cheese comp. Like, you could do some pretty cool like control stuff. You've got some good bruise options. I think you had like that was the one where I recommended doing like Raj, right? Like the Ramael and Judaya, and then I think that's pretty cool. Speed tuning for this one. So you need Lauren to go first, right? So Lauren goes first, sets up defense break, followed by Crow. Crow's there to do branding right after Lauren. And then you can do your 2 damage dealers, Veramos and Spectra. I almost called him Shaman. And Spectra actually doesn't need to be on Swift necessarily. You can actually put Spectra on either like Fatal or Rage. So Spectra has the highest base speed in the game without any additional help, right? Because if you're actually like in a game, right, like Ginger Brave or the Dark Hellhound have a faster base speed. Without any help at all, Spectra has the highest base speed in the game. That makes you think that you need to rune him to be fast because you need to like leverage that, but that's not the case. It actually means that you can rune him on super high damage and not have to worry about speed because the dude's already fast as heck on his own. So like what you could do is you could transition Spectra over to like a rage build and you could do like even attack, crit damage, HP, something like that if you wanted to, and just look for speed in the substats. So that way he moves where you need him to move. Because I think one of the challenges for this comp, if you're running the starter team for Dragons, is getting Spectra slow enough that he slots in where he's supposed to. If you don't have Rage runes, you can do Fatal runes too. Like Fatal runes are okay, or like, you know, whatever you need to do. So again, turn order wise, we've talked about Lauren, we've talked about Crow, now your 2 damage dealers, Veramos and Spectra in either order, and that just leaves Verd right after that. Now Verd, we do need to have a quick discussion about, just something to keep in mind. I like the speed on Verd, I like that you're building him on damage, but he really needs 100% crit rate. Like, really needs 100%. Not even 95, not even anything. It's gotta be that. It's gotta be 100. And the reason why is because if he is not hitting crits, he is not doing anything. He's basically not benefiting the comp in any way. And if he misses a crit, it's gonna be devastating, right? And your comp is going to be the one that's predominantly taking turns. The enemies are rarely taking any turns at all if everything's going according to plan. So that means if he's missing like 5, 10, 15% crit rate, you're going to find that 10 or 15% he's going to miss, and it's going to be the difference between a win and a loss. Lady Ziandra, what's going on? Welcome back. Hey, guys. Lady Ziandra and crew, be prepared to do some more tricep dips or whatever you want to do, because I think we're going to do another Summoner's Workout stream next Wednesday. I think I'm not going to be alone. I think it should be a fun one. Okay, so I think that's the Dragons team. So King Numdrum, if you want more details on that, we have a starter guide on the YouTube channel as well. Zello, Rolex, what do you need help with? Tell me what you need help with. Oh, Skyfell. Skyfell who got the Dark Megami. Look at that. There he is up there. Can I review your account? Oh my God, it's beautiful. Is that Baki? that looks like Baki. super fast. Oh my God, slow down. Super fast comps. Holy heavens to Betsy, dude. You got Joe Gun on your Rift team. I think maybe R5 is where you need to go now. Oh, you haven't done TOA hard yet. Wow, you have like 41 second, 47 second Dragon's team, but you haven't finished TOA hard yet. Wait, this is so interesting. The order in which you've accomplished these feats is like out of whack, but still impressive, you know? Like, so we really need to get you to clear TOA hard. It's just lazy. We really need to get you to clear TOA hard because that is gonna be the best source for like good rewards every single month. Like everybody, no matter where you're at in the game, looks forward to TOA resetting so that way you can get more rewards. Like we need to get you that clear. The rest of this is awesome. It's very difficult for me to give this a review. I haven't seen this before. Normally people do their speed teams after. Oh my God, and your island. Your island's got some theming going on too. I like the little pathway to the summon henge. Yeah, bro, this is crazy. Oh my God, you got Jara. You've got Jara, Jay, and Megumi. Wow, Carlos kind of looks like... Carlos really blends into the LD5s here. Look at this. Carlos really blends in with the LDs. What? He didn't even look out of place. Bro's color scheme is the exact same. I never noticed that. He always looked like such a fire monster to me, but is sandwiched in between all these dark monsters. He looks right at home. Oh, why you don't disperse? Why you don't? Abigail, I'm sorry. I don't think I understand, Moten. Could you maybe say that one more time? No problem, Kingdom Drum. Yeah, we got to get you clearing TOA. Oh my God, you got Deborah. Wow, dude. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Chat, can I ask a crazy question real quick? Can you use Jara in TOA? I feel like maybe you could, right? I mean, it's single target. But could you use her in TOA? Oh, Dan, this is perfect. It's not illegal. Dude, I think it might be illegal, Aggie baby. Also, what's up, dude? Yeah, so maybe look into using, I would think about maybe using Jara. But you've got Rika and Zyros, to be honest. So it's like, and Chungpung. So you actually have some pretty solid, 5 stars that you can use for TOA. Like if your comp features Chungpung, Rika, Zyros, I would actually bring Jara because there are a few problematic passives on your way up. And that could actually deal with it. What does Megami offer? So, strip, decrease attack bar, and decrease attack power. Okay, so I don't necessarily think that's quite enough for me to recommend using him in TOA. You could bring Deborah, actually. You have an interesting combination of stuff here. But it doesn't really match with these other things, to be honest. Like I'm saying to do like a control style play, and then like Deborah gets you to kind of like partially ignore defense. I don't think we need to like splash that in. Dudano says, nah, Jara wouldn't do good. Junior says you could, but it wouldn't be fast runs. Well, here's my thought is that like, imagine Jara as an answer to like the Dark Phantom Thieves. Imagine Jara as an answer to, Jara versus a Chroma. Jara and a Chroma might actually work. Well, he's not gonna, Jara won't be able to tank that. So yeah, I think we gotta get clearing TOA Skyfell. Zello. So let's do next, let's go ahead and help me with my arena defense. What is your arena defense right now? It's an outspeed sort of comp. You want to strip, you want to stun, you want to provoke. I think the Wind Gojo is a little out of place. I would replace the Wind Gojo if you're looking to do that. I think Angel Devils, I think what you want here, I like the speed lead, I like the Clara, I like the Savannah. I think what you want in Wind Gojo's slot is follow-up for Savannah. I think that would rather be like a Kaki. It would rather be a Kaki or something with like big AoE damage. It can be anything, it can really be anything in that slot, but something with big damage. Zelo says, Evan, I asked if I could get reviewed. I don't do PvP because I feel weak. Also, I barely finish TOA hard while I'm doing many attempts. My arena defense is random, can't come up with teams. So it sounds like there's a few different issues here. I don't know if I would. So yeah, this one's a little bit, let's lock in on something. So you don't do PvP because you feel weak. Let's focus on like, we can talk arena defense. We haven't done much with arena defenses today. I don't always like bringing Mephisto unless it's absolutely necessary, and like unless you have like nothing else to do, because they can always just not bring revive, right? Like it's a pretty easy thing, and it's kind of rare that arena offenses focus on bringing revive with them. Like instead, I would prefer, I see Xingxie there, like Xingxie might be better. Let's see what else you have. Like Leo is okay, but sometimes I don't like bringing Leo either. You know, you're kind of providing them the Leo. A lot of these comps want to do something like Leo, double Lucian, attack buffer, and boost. You know, so bringing the Leo for them can sometimes actually help people as well. I prefer things that are gonna like outlast the enemy team. I like the direction of Zhang Fei, but because he's dependent on defense, he can kind of get taken advantage of. I don't know if this is everything you have. You could bring something that's closer to like a revive sort of thing. You could bring Douglas, but basically what I'm looking for is I want something that will either reduce damage taken, outlast an onslaught from a double Lucian comp. So if we're gonna double down on an element, I'd prefer it to be fire. Bring like a Triana so you can prevent death. Something like that is what we're looking for. And the other thing that I'd remind everybody too, I forgot to check exactly what state of the game this account is in, but arena defenses are remarkably optional. Like if you don't want to put a defense that's actually like good, you don't have to, and you won't be missing out on too much. Unless you really, really want to like climb up an arena, you don't need to worry about it. Sometimes it's better to just get a bunch of glory so you can keep getting your weekly Devilmon, you can get all the scrolls that the shop offers, stuff like that. But if you're in this position, again, I would maybe recommend doubling down on fire if you're gonna do anything. So you could do Douglas +1 for now, and then I would maybe see about like getting in a Triana, something like that. Let me go through, we still have time for a few more. We're gonna go into like a lightning round sort of thing. Travert, first time watching. I'm glad you made it today. Any advice for RTA? New to it, and it's just been using support monsters. Oh my God, we share an LD5. You've gotta be kidding me. That's awesome. Oh, Dan. I was gonna recommend you Tyron. Oh, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. Okay, Travert, let's see. Currently at F1 in RTA. Incredible Giants Abyss time, by the way. Absolutely insane. Wow. Wow. You have great monsters. Wait a second, dude, your monsters are too good to be taking supports. Well, I think maybe what you could do is if you're gonna continue doing support monsters approach, right? You could do what we talked about earlier and kind of splash them in. Like splash in supports. Collaborator 69, what's going on? Oh, excuse me, is the store open yet? We actually, oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm like choking on myself right now. We actually just posted a video on the channel about the store's return. The store's coming back semi-soon. Let me post, I think it's September 30th, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to accidentally misquote the day that it's coming back. So you have an extremely fast speed lead with Vanessa. Zima is a great opener, right? Because he attacks everybody, he strips, and he silences for one turn. So that means when they get their turn, they're not able to use anything other than their first skill. So I would really leverage the Zima. I would leverage him as a starter. You also have Chandra, who's one of the most popular units in RTA right now. We got Naruto's dad for some damage. Oh, you have Veligil. Of course you do. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I would actually I would pick what's semi-popular in the meta right now, but then add your own twist to it, because I think that's going to give you kind of a good RTA experience. You're going to kind of learn the interaction between these monsters, and you're going to see how good they are. So I would open with Chandra, then go like Velojoule, and I don't like to pick two elements back to back, you know, or like the same element back to back. So let me see what we got in terms of wind. Technically, you could go Charlotte if you wanted to, but I guess we could just double pick a water. You could just pick a second water. Then you could either go with like Woosa's pretty neutral. So if you wanted, you could go Chandra, Velojoule, and then either Woosa for double immunity if they're presenting something that if you get the feeling that you're gonna have to like resist some stuff, or Miles to get some damage in. And then from there, you just draft based on what they're presenting to you. So I would also keep, like I said, the Minato. I would keep the Minato ruined. I would keep the Vanessa ruined. Zima if you need to like have a strong starter. I would bring Meiho Wang if they either have a lot of wind monsters or if they're trying to control you, like if they're trying to stun you, because Meiho Wang can't be controlled. Keep a Dominic rune too. Like, dude, this account is really, that's a beefy account. I gotta say, like that is a lot of high quality monsters all in one place. You're gonna have some fun in RTA. You're actually gonna have a lot of fun once you go in there. One last dab. Let's see what we can do to help. So this is the first time you were able to catch the stream, you said, right? Or no? You said that you needed assistance with rifts. So it looks like you've got a BJ5 comp up there working with one. I'm gonna give you a few tips. I'm gonna give you a few tips for what you can do for it. Sorry guys, I have an itch on my back. Let's talk about a few monsters that are decent for R5. Actually, technically too, Lulu and Friends. Perfect, it is your first time. Cool, I thought I remembered that right. Lulu and Friends is actually really good cleanse and immunity for R5, and here's why. You don't want cleanse on a passive because the boss can apply Oblivion. So you want to look for opportunities that monsters can like cleanse, heal, apply immunity, whatever, on an active skill rather than a passive. So Lulu is a target for that sort of thing. Let me look around a little bit too. I really do like Rauk as well. Rauk's awesome for his team up effect. I don't use Verd in raids. I don't think most people use Verd, but sometimes I don't think it's said why people don't use Verd. As the raid goes on, the more turns you take, the harder the raid gets. So, you know, I don't always ruin my units on Violent. I don't use Verd to boost them up. Then let's see here. Technically, I guess you could, I do use Cocky, even though I just mentioned the thing about the passive and all of his damage comes from his passive, but I do use Cocky actually. Other things to keep in mind, Mav is great because he can reduce the cooldown times. He can reduce the cooldown times of your team. Riley, because she's got cleanse on a skill and she is not affected by Oblivion because she doesn't have a passive. Bella Dion for the heal as well. Brings Second Awakened Darien for damage reduction. You want to look for instances of damage reduction, right? So like Darien and then Dias, the Dark Death Knight, if you manage to get that Hall of Heroes. You can bring Fran too as one method. You'll bring Lauren. You'll bring Crow in one of your comps as well. These are all really good to keep in mind. You have a couple solid monsters for this. I was just helping Michael build a raids team actually. See if there's anything back here that we want to bring. I think that's everything that we would want to bring for your raids comp. And then from there, what it is, Jared, it's just going to be, or Gerard rather, it's just going to be moving these around so that they're in the right spot. So your BJ5 team, right? So the BJ5 team that you already have is going to be placed on the far right or the far left. Technically, it doesn't matter. It just can't be in the middle. And here's why. Because the BJ5 team is designed to do a lot of damage and then they go away, right? That team is going to die because it's fragile. It's a glass cannon. So you want to have some element of control when it comes to where that third head of Kijar Kazul is going to go after that team goes away. So essentially, your tankiest comp, the one with Darien to reduce the damage, the one that's built to survive, you want that one in the middle, right? You want to put Darien reducing the damage right in the center so that way when that second head comes around and starts doing double the damage to that team, they're built to take it. Another thing you want to look out for is Zhang Fei. If you haven't fused a Zhang Fei yet, or maybe I missed it, you want to use his defense lead too. The defense lead is super helpful for like solo R5. Woo! I'm a mess. Help. Lady Giandra, let's go. You made an alt during the Witcher collab and you need assistance. Okay. Looks like you're already doing Abyss normals. I think you might be able to push into hard if we take out the Fran and the Lauren. Perfect. You have Zhang already. That's great. Yeah, I actually think that if you were to take out the Fran and Lauren and replace them with Shannon and Bella Dion, you might be able to break into Giants Abyss hard. Simpex, that's actually exactly the case. So Simpex over on Twitch just asked, what do you generally need the other two teams in R5 to do? I assume there's many possibilities, but they accomplish similar things, right? Yes, in fact, the BJ5 comp that I'm talking about with like Baelger, Jansen, and the rest to do high damage, you technically don't need that comp at all. You can actually just run a third iteration of something tanky that can do sustained damage. But that's exactly the case. Ultimately, the main tenets of what you're looking for are going to be damage reduction, powerful leader skills, and abilities that allow you to cleanse and heal on a hard skill, like an active skill, rather than a passive. Those are probably the three tenets, right? And then from there, what it's going to be is disseminating those abilities across the three teams and then splashing in damage, right? So that means if you have something like a Brandia, you can bring it. If you've got Crow, you put him on one of the teams, right? You move the damage abilities around accordingly, but ultimately you want each team to have some sort of way to dodge damage, right? Like Darian, DS, a lot of, like, I have a comp with Ariel, the Water Archangel, but you could also use Second Awaken Lulu to like do the cleanse and healing, stuff like that. Okay, great question. That's exactly the case. You don't need exact teams, you just need ideas. You need like these themes. Okay, so Lady Ziandra needs help with the alts to see if we can get it to push into new places. This Rauk is really slow, but I don't know if he's used for anything. It looks like right now it might be an auto runing situation, or perhaps this is a remnant from times long past. Gerard said, awesome, thanks for the tips. I was just kind of going off videos on YouTube and throwing stuff in random spots to try and make it work. Yeah, I had a feeling, and you know what, dude, it can be like a difficult space in the game to break into. Like, it took me quite a while to get into R5 when I first started playing, and that was back before solo rating was a thing. Like, you could use like one support, but that was all. Oh, and you do have a Shannon. Honestly, you might not even need to awaken your Shannon. I know I say second awaken Shannon. You might not have to. It's really like a stats thing, right? When you do that, let me just take a look at this real quick. Enemy's chance for glancing, right? And this glances, it already slows. Yeah, you honestly might not need to do it. It's just for like attack bar absorption that like Shannon gets when she's second awakened. You may be able to clear it with just her as she is now. I would second awaken your Bella Dion though, just because Bella Dion is like a little bit fragile. Shannon's got the benefit of being glanced on, and she applies defense buff and attack buff. So like, you don't need to worry about her so much. And then I think second awakened Crow, if he were a little faster, he might be able to replace Geralt in Dragons, by the way. It really is Streamluck just got a 22 speed roll. Let's go, Bubble. That's awesome. Kingdom Drum, I imagine Evan went to SW College. Ooh, oh my gosh, guys, that is a great stretch. Oh my goodness. Wow, that was fantastic. Dude, I'm still crack-a-lacking actually. Like, I'm still cracking. That's crazy. Yeah, I went to the Cal State University of Knowledge Stacks. It was Professor Baelger, Professor Odin. Exactly the case. So yeah, Lady Ziandra, I think you could make those two changes, make that adjustment, like take these two out of your Giants comp, swap in Shannon and Bella Dion, and then for Dragons, I think if your turn order is what we listed earlier, You could try taking out Geralt and putting in 2A Crow instead, just for the branding. But remember, he actually needs to be pretty quick for that to work. He needs to move right after Lauren if you're to do that. If you don't want to put in the effort for that, like I totally understand. Like it's one of those things where it requires kind of like semi-drastic reruning of Crow, and it might not be worth it. Let me actually just check in on some of this stuff. The other thing for dragons, actually, your Verd might be just a smidge too slow too. Might be just a smidge slow. Because ultimately, you want Verd to move last, but you don't want him to be so slow that the boss is going to move in between him taking his turn, right? Between him and your last damage dealer. Because you need the boss to just kind of chill for a second, and then Verd takes his turn. So you basically need to speed him up a little bit. I think the magic number is like 42-ish additional speed, thereabouts. But I think 20 might be cutting it a little bit close. Guys, real quick, I also wanted to shout out again, America's Cup, October 12th. The registration for that is open right now, and on Twitch you can use Command America's Cup if you want to register for that. For more details, you can check out our social media, or it's also live in-game right now. Either one you want to do. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have today. I just stayed on Global today, guys, and I'm so sorry if I missed anybody's account. I'm doing my best. I'm watching quite a few chats, and sometimes stuff slips through the cracks, but hopefully you learned something today or maybe got a little bit of direction. Stay tuned, because next week at this same time on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing another workout stream, and I'm going to be doing a Soul Strike stream later today at 2 p.m., and we're going to have 2 special guests again. Thank you guys for watching. This was awesome. If you're on Twitch, stay in chat. We're going to raid somebody. Bye, everyone. See you next time.
Inclined to believe her, because she would know that sort of thing. Maybe I'm allergic to being tired. These are the top 9 monsters you should 6-star first. Let's get started. Number 9, Shannon the Wind Pixie. I can't believe I'm talking about her. I used to hate this monster, but now I'm using her all the time, which is really humbling for me. This is a very vulnerable moment for me, but you know, we've known each other for a long time, so I feel like I can do this with you. Also, this is specifically Second Awakened Shannon. Shannon's all about protecting her team, which I love. She's like a German Shepherd. She's very loyal, to a fault. She's mainly here for her 3rd skill that applies both an attack buff and a defense buff to her and her allies. Her skill 2 is going to apply a slow to everyone, and her skill 1 has a chance to glance the target. So she is all about turn denial, damage denial, and healing, because like we talked about, damage not taken is health not lost, which is basically healing. I don't hear a lot of arguments for the otherwise. You can actually get Shannon in the Summoner's Way questline or via Unknown Scrolls or the Magic Shop. She's everywhere. Literally the only reason why she's occupying the number 9 slot is because it's not super essential that you 6-star her in the beginning. I still think it's worth it because you're going to use her in the Giant's Abyss, and she's going to help with stability wherever you take her, but she's not the highest priority. There are 8 other priorities. Speaking of 8, it's Beladion, the Light Inugami. If you had asked me to make this video even 2 months ago, Beladion probably wouldn't have been on it. Sorry, Bella. You're still a really good dog. Beladion's somewhat come back in vogue as of late because of the advent of the Abyss Floors. Now in Giants, can be a reliable defense breaker that hits 1 time, and a smart healer and a smart stripper. So that means that Beladion will only heal when someone needs a heal, and it'll only strip a buff when there is a buff to be removed.